Patrick Lemire, Ryan Coogler is rebooting X-Files. Another ginger swap incoming. Well, I have some thoughts about that. And first of all, this coincides with the 30th anniversary of X-Files. And so there's going to be a lot of hoopla, a lot of things going on. Chris Carter said in passing in a podcast that he talked to a young man named Ryan Coogler who's going to reboot it with a diverse cast. And one, I would really love them just to leave the X-Files alone because they're perfect, especially the first 6 seasons as they were. I had major problems with the last couple of seasons, especially the ones without Mulder, with Daggett and Mulder. But people were talking about how diverse the X-Files was, and I posted on Twitter, Patrick, that yes and no. Yes, in the writing of characters and in guest starring, and then some small recurring roles later on, but no in regards to some of the really odd choices for casting. And let me just bring this up and show this to you really quick, guys, because this was my thing that had bothered me when I saw these episodes. Now, you got to understand, Chris Carter is one of us, meaning he's a soul cowboy. He grew up on the Dodgers. He grew up in, I believe, in Southgate. I mean, he even named Scully, after Vin Scully, and so he grew up around Chicanos, around Mexican Americans. So when he named this character, like one of the sleeping character, one of Mulder's, kind of the dark connects, Marta Covarrubias, I was, I was surprised that was her name because she never looked like no Covarrubias that I've ever met in Southgate or in LA. The other character that I had way more problems with was the casting of Annabeth Gish as Monica Reyes. And I love Annabeth. I think she's a fine actor. But when you connect her to her culture, as they did in a couple of episodes and where she spoke Spanish, it's pretty cringe. It's pretty bad. My thing was like, yeah, they're diverse, but they didn't cast Latino actors. Oh,
I
you're
do
back.
recall the character Marita Covarrubias. I remember she was quite a lovely actress, but I was like, she's supposed to be South American, she's supposed to be Argentine. What is her origin, right? And it wasn't clear.
Again, that one wasn't as problematic for me as was Monica Reyes, who
Sure,
was born and raised in Mexico,
sure.
and Annabeth Gish was trying to pull off speaking Spanish in a few episodes, and it was just bad. And it really always surprised me that a homeboy like Chris Carter would let that slide, would let that
Well,
slip.
but let's. I mean, I'm
So
going to be as.
I'm
But
sorry.
let me.
That's just my take on this. I'm not excited about Ryan Coogler doing a reboot, but I'm a
Yeah,
huge
and I
X
don't
Files
know that
fan.
that's real. I don't know that that's
Right.
real. I think that's a lot of talk. I mean, I'm going to say some critiques of Mr. Carter. Maybe he'll watch this and never hire me for a job. But look, I'm a huge fan of the X Files. I worked with Glenn Morgan on Bionic Woman, who was the head writer of X Files for many years. Mr. Carter, he's his one major claim to fame as a person in Hollywood is that show X Files. He also, I think, made Millennium, but it didn't have the same
Mm,
cultural impact
no,
as
it
the X
didn't.
Files did. And it's a living entity
Mhm.
today. The fact that people still care about the possibility X Files can be resurrected, it causes news today, right? Because a lot of what the X Files it tapped into a growing sense that the world is not what it appears to be, which I think has over 2 generations. A lot of people believe that, right? So but he's also
Mhm.
he's also very much, and I hate using this kind of terminology, but I'm going to use it here. He's also sort of like your generic white guy in Hollywood, right? Because I've dealt with those guys, right? And they there's a lot of things where they think that they're allies to various ethnic groups, and they don't it's all they don't even realize the superficiality of that allegiance. It's not conscious. It's they think they're being helpful, and they're shocked when you point out things to them that, like, well, why'd you cast this person, not that person? It didn't even occur to them, right? The character is Mexican. Is that enough, right? The character's Spanish, right? Latino. Is that enough? And they don't realize, and even when these characters were being made, it's like there's talented Latino
Right.
actresses available right now. It's not like and Annabeth Gish is a wonderful actor. It's not like there weren't other people prominent at the time that could have played it.
And the point I'm making is that when you make a Latino specific character on a major television show and you don't have a Latino actor or someone who you believe can pull it off, it's just it was a double take for me, and that always bugged me. Like, why did that happen? Here is like, I mean, when was that? Maybe a little over 20 years ago. There's
Yeah.
plenty of great, Latina actors that could have, My point is that, especially coming from an LA boy like Chris Carter, I thought that was very short sighted.
Well, but
And
but LA, I mean, look at LA has always been one of the most racist places towards Latinos, even though Latinos are such a central part of the culture. You live here, I live here. Let's be straight about it.
yeah,
Especially in
it's a
Hollywood,
good point.
the only Latinos they know are their gardener, the guy in the restaurant. That's all they know, and they don't
Hey,
let Latinos into their world. They don't let them into their world, so they don't know it.
yeah.